Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Glen Eagles Reserve, Ailsa Avenue, and a thankfully sunny Glen Eagles Reserve. My name, as always, is Dave Webb. I will be joined in commentary today by Gerard Bluey Byrne. I think that's probably the only time I'm going to call you by your actual name.
Never heard you say my name.
I know. I had to ask you what your name was. I think that's pretty much how things go with yourself. Bluey, welcome.
Thank you.
It's actually quite a nice day.
It is. It was raining earlier. I was down here for 6/7s. It's been a great day down here, but now the weather is just split and it is beautiful.
Now, I have been told by my floor manager that there will be no rain. I have trusted him because we are not undercover. I have trusted everything he says. So, we say 15 degrees, so it's a bit chilly, but we're ready to go. 25 kilometre an hour winds, but it doesn't feel like.
Can't feel a breath of air.
Can't feel a breath of air here. Pitch, as usual, here at Ailsa Avenue is absolutely glorious. Woodville are the home team. We'll have a look at the Woodville side first and foremost. Even you said there's some names you don't recognise in this first grade. The good old name withheld family again, showing that they are massive in
South Australian rugby.
South Australian rugby. I know one of those, the one and the three, will be Tommy Price.
Yes.
Mason Connor will be at hooker. We'll work out who the other one is. Sam Jolly and Georgiadis in the second row. Henry Leaflang, Jake Connor and Liam Lung in the back row. Kyle Witcher is a name that I don't recognise in halfback.
He's been an up-and-coming player, and he's got some real skills.
Now we get to the number 10, and that's the first time we see a name that we're used to seeing, which is Lindsay Adcock. Played absolutely brilliantly in the defeat against Elizabeth, but we'll get to today's game a little bit more. In the centres, the Vuata brothers, one of them looked absolutely outstanding on the wing last time we saw them. Owen and Barwin out on the wings, and then Riley Angus back at fullback. Now, the Old Collegians team, and I always get handed a paper team sheet by Old Collegians, one of the few that do it. Brownie used to be quite good, but he's given up now. It's on the thing. Bradley Killick, Henry Pardo, and Brendan Harding in the front row. The Jesh Graham and Reese Ward will be in the second row. Liam McDonough. That's a promotion from the wing up to wing forward. Jim Francis and Ruben Stretch will be the back row. Halfback pairing of Tom Merrin and Trent Ormsby, Carl Edgar and Lincoln Ormsby in the centres. One of the wings is Seb Lavakiaho, who is new, I think he's making his debut today, and Guy Radbone at fullback. Now, I've left out the other winger because that is, believe it or not, Rob Smedley back in the fold.
Wow. I did. I mentioned sort of seen the name Ormsby there, but Colin Ormsby is a very old friend of mine from Onkaparinga.
He's stalking around the place today.
I did say hello to him today.
He's stalking around.
He's doing very well. He's keen to start coaching, I've heard again.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, look, the reason I sort of flew through that Old Collegians side is the unavailable list is ridiculous. Reedy Padana, Ruan Ferree, Tristan Coutson, Nick Howland, Luke Robertson, Andrew Burgess, Chaz Ackley, Kurt McKinley, Matt Cargie, Dom Lane, and of course Chris Bartlett as well is also out. That's
a big list.
So I spoke to Peter Arnold before the game and just asked what was going on, because I know we've got the ladder to have a look at as well.
Yeah.
And we talked about the worst season starts for Old Collegians, and this by far and away is the worst start they've had. I mean, 2 wins, 4 losses. And I said, what's the story? Basically,
what was the answer?
That injury list.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Just the complete lack of consistency, and they can't get anything going. They have got an eye on the future. They think their under-18s are doing great things this year.
I watched the under-16s today. I think that team's going to go far.
So, I mean, and again, if you look at where Woodville are as well, so they've won 1, lost 5. I mean, the last couple of seasons for Woodville, it's been, the same sort of story, and again, we're not really seeing a consistent lineup from you week in and year out either, are you? I mean, look at the likes of Burnside. It's the same lineup we're seeing year in, year out.
That's right.
You just haven't been able to get that consistency.
It's a strange thing. So that been around for a while have been working on the juniors for so long. and we've been holding on, and now the machine's starting to work. I think so. Last week, for example, we had 6 under-18s playing B grade against Brighton, and a couple of years ago that would have been the A grade backing up. So the machine's starting to come through, and we've taken really good notice of how the other clubs have done it. So you're dead right. I think we can get some consistency, and hopefully it will come through in the next couple of years.
I mean, and talking of holding on, I think there is the youth setup that Woodville have set up over the last couple of years. That's going to start paying dividends.
Absolutely.
Soon.
That's what I was trying to say there. They're just running on the pitch now.
So out come Old Collegians. Liam McDonough, the defensively absolutely outstanding for Old Collegians in the wing position. So it's going to be interesting to see the amount of work that he gets through as a back rower. There's certainly some big changes for Old Collegians week in, week out. Kurt McKinley being out, but and strangely for them as well, nobody mentioned on the bench, which is unusual for them.
That is very unusual.
So their bench is essentially going to come from the reserve grade. Who we're going to sing as loud as possible next to us just to make our life difficult. Yeah. Hopefully it's a PG song. I think that it is.
I like the Beatles. I like the Beatles.
So their bench is going to essentially come completely from them, which would be interesting. I'm not sure with regards to Woodville what their bench is going to look like. I know community rugby is always difficult. Not everybody has the ability to have a fresh bench. So
that's right.
You know, there are days when it's just a war of attrition. You know, those days where you have to go over to the Barossa and it's raining sideways.
Yeah.
You know, you might find that your bench, your squad selection gets slightly smaller.
Yep.
But they're happy. But this is, if you were the Woodville coach this morning, you woke up this morning and you knew what was going on with Old Collegians this year, and you knew what was going on with yourselves this year, this is a big game. This is a final for you guys. I
actually think that knowing the players that are out there, there's a good chance that if a bit of magic goes on, and I think Lindsay Adcock can add to that magic, there's a good possibility that we can then roll on. If we do actually take this win today, then I do believe Old Collegians will be in a bit of a...
They'd be in a world of pain, wouldn't
they? They would be after that, yeah. I was talking to a couple of old friends today, John and Cheslick. Cheslick from Old Collegians. I was talking to him this morning, and biggest shout out to Chesa, and he's a good lad. He's in a conference, but he was saying that the injuries have taken a fair bit, but hopefully this is going to be a great game, Dave, I reckon.
Well, this is massive for both teams.
It is.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really interesting one. This could be the kickstart for Old Collegians' season that they need, as Adcock sends it high into the beautiful blue skies. The weather has put its best frock on today, hasn't it?
Must be.
Considering this morning.
Must be we're together, Dave.
It must be.
Yeah.
Sun shines on the beautiful.
Hang on, I'm a ranger. How hot is that sun?
I know, right? We need to get you indoors, don't we? So the first scrum of the game, nice high contestable restart from Lindsay Adcock, and it's going to be the scrum. Look, I've taken a personal interest in Lindsay Adcock. I had that very brief stint with Woodville.
Oh, we remember, Dave.
It was just before they took me away to do this.
That's right.
I played a pre-season and then they took me away. But I just want to see him grow into that position more and more.
I think if Lindsay... he's a really a great offloader, and he loves the kicking and stuff. But I believe that if Lindsay actually takes it to the line a lot more, and actually backs himself for a run, he's unstoppable when he does that.
So Woodville again will look into midfield. Slow to get to ground, but does get to ground. Sam Jolly trying to find a way through. Price got man and ball somewhat, as Lincoln Ormsby tried to find a way through, but a big loud blast on the whistle and a penalty given.
What was the penalty for?
Falling over, it looks like. Yeah, falling over. One of the big things I want to see with Lindsay is, and one of the things that I talked about him, I mean, it was a while ago now, it must be like 6 years ago now, getting close to 6 years ago.
A bit longer, Dave, I'm not sure. We're getting older now.
I'm a young man. But I wanted him to see to play the game and to see the game 2-3 phases in front of where we were.
Yeah.
And I think he's getting better at that. But it's certainly going to be, you talk about the two halfbacks at the moment in Trent Ormsby and Lindsay Adcock, it's certainly going to be a battle. They are two different types of first 5'8".
Oh, there's Emu. I think you nicknamed him Emu, Dave.
Did I?
He's Medics. Years ago, when Matt Connor and I were coaching, we had a prop problem. Here we go.
In a good spot at the moment.
Sammy.
I tell you, it will do huge amounts for Woodville's confidence if they can get on the board early. Adcock will find one of the Vuatas. He'll just run on the outside.
Oh.
Gets dragged down from the shoulders. I can't see. Yep, they are going to. So right, early on we get the refereeing discussion. So with regards, I've got a feeling he's thinking penalty try, because if you take away the tackler. Yep, so that is a penalty try. So that's 70 points. Or is it just a penalty? Just a penalty.
Just a penalty. Dave got excited there.
I did,
I
because
was
I thought I called it
excited.
early. Because if you take away the offender,
Yep. And
if it's a
take away the
penalty, you just take him away.
Yeah.
And from that far out,
Pretty
he scored.
close. Well, I can't disagree with the decision because I wasn't down there and I can't see it. It's not often that I would say I can't disagree with the referee, Dave.
Well, you were a halfback in your day as well, weren't
I
you?
was a gob off, yeah. Sorry,
what
halfback. Sorry, yeah,
same thing.
halfback, yeah.
Semantics. Certainly a happy start for Woodville. Oh, he's forced to go blind.
Carl's pushed it on. Well done.
Adcock will step in at halfback. There's the big emu.
Yeah, so back to Emu comment. So here we go.
I think you better just hold that story until
Oh,
we get a
I
better
know,
chance.
it's maybe half time I'll tell it.
But yeah, they are certainly applying the pressure
Oh.
and just couldn't quite bring it in.
So it was Costa that made the knock on there.
Georgiadis, I mean, as much as I appreciate seeing the Port Power logo out on a Saturday afternoon, we are going to have to get him some shorts, Bluey.
I reckon. I will say something about he's probably my favourite player at Woodville right now because he's never played rugby ever and it's his third or fourth game playing.
I tell you what, they're the stories we love. They're the people we love.
Yeah. And every time he catches the ball, I think he's going to do something.
Every time we get a convert from that code that shall not be named.
It's the Voldemort of sports.
Hey, we can't say Voldemort either anymore, can we? Good counter ruck from Old Collegians. He's just hacked through the middle.
Yeah.
Penalty though.
Can't kick through the ruck.
Yeah.
That was the decision that changed. And I do believe it was in 2009 that ruck rule changed.
Oh, there you go.
And I hated it because I used to love sticking my
was
little
your
boot.
thing?
That was my thing. I would stick a boot in the ruck and give it a bit of a tap out.
The important question was the rule changed because of you.
I don't think so, Dave.
I mean, who was it? What is the famous? I think his name escapes me. That's terrible. Richard McCormack.
Richie McCaw.
McCaw, that's the one.
He was offside.
Yeah, they changed the rules because of him.
He was offside. There was a famous picture when he retired of him walking through a gate. And it was
The only one.
it was the first time he ever walked through
Are
the
we
gate.
sure it was
Dave.
him? It was not like Bigfoot.
Could have been photoshopped. I'm not sure.
You know we call him the helicopter?
He's a pain in my butt.
He always came in through the side.
Yeah, that's right. Great
It's not
line
a
out,
bad
Costa.
line-out. He's always going to have good hands if he's come
Look
from.
at Adcock catching.
Oh no!
Oh.
He just got excited.
Now we have to regroup. Old Collegians pushing forward.
Fortunately, found its way back into Woodville hands. And the little knock on, and they're going to get a scrum. He just got a bit excited then, didn't he?
Yep, he did.
The run around worked, and he thought, I can just sneak it past.
Dave, while it's waiting, I just wanted to give a quick shout
Are we
out.
gonna get this email
No,
for it? No.
not yet. I want to give a quick shout out to my friends in Cherbourg in France.
Ah.
So Romeo and John Philly, who are my son James's coaches over there, and Damon, the president of the rugby club in Cherbourg. If you're listening, guys, bonsoir, bonjour. It could be the time
be
of
the
the
morning over there.
Well,
It'll
bonjour,
be
bonjour, mon ami.
just gone 8 o'clock
Oui.
in Cherbourg.
And yes, we miss you, and we hope to see you soon. Good scrum from both sides.
Price with the wraparound, his dynamic usual self.
We've got Nathan's
That's
running.
not a bad contestable kick. Again, that's offside.
He's got it. He's picked up the advantage.
There goes Georgiadis. He's done well to bring it back. The numbers are this side. They've missed everybody. Finally, it finds its way to a Woodville hand, and then nice and
That is
straight.
Liam.
There he goes again, the big fella.
Emu.
Yeah, so there's that offside. As he went up to take it, the player was in front of the catcher.
It's been a bit of a fair contest so far. I think it's been tit for tat. There hasn't been a dominating portion that I've seen, Dave.
No, but I think I'm starting to get a crick in my neck. We have looked one way rather than the other in the first, coming up to 8 minutes.
Another great kick. Lindsay Adcock's leg is it's worth some points, isn't it?
You can't, you can't take that away. But the pace in that midfield.
We'll just see how their
Bravado
line
brothers
speed, the line speed off the line from Old Collegians will be a teller. So the inside and outside centre. Let's see how fast they move up together.
Well, it's the Ormsby brothers, so they should be able to communicate with each other. I think that's stolen by Old Collegians, though. Smedley will go back into the pocket. Might get a look at this Woodville back three, but no, the clearance is good. It's just, it's not massive, but it's what they needed.
Do you have the names of all the refereeing staff today, Dave?
If I work on it, yes. Oh no! I'm just grabbed Chris Bartlett very, very quickly. We just might get a word from him. Chris, hamstring.
Yep, dodgy hamstring as always. 1 per year. Hopefully, be back next week, mate.
Well, we look forward to seeing you again. We've missed you a long time. It looks like you're keeping well hydrated.
I'm not complaining.
Stay hydrated throughout the day, my friend.
Good to see you.
Tristan Clements is in the middle.
A little bit.
You're testing me now.
I am.
Brett Hart is on the far side, and he's going to hate me because I used to work with him, and his name was gone.
I know, Brett.
Brett Hart, far side, Tristan Clements, and the guy on the near side, I know him, and as soon as we go off air, I'll forget. Yeah, it's gone. It's
That's
terrible.
Right. I know all their names, and do you know what it is?
God.
Sir.
Well, true.
Yes, sir.
True. I can't even check because, he's an ex-policeman, so he's one of these people on Facebook who doesn't use his real name.
You're in trouble now.
Dude. Little knock-on from Jeff Snow, but it looked to me like he gathered it.
It looked like it, he just couldn't pull it back in. Oh, yeah, so back to Costa, this number 5, right? So he's never played rugby before, and I've seen him do some, really amazing stuff that you wouldn't expect. And I think that's when you get a transition from one code to the other, everyone expects you to do a certain thing. He's unusual the way that he runs. It's quite good.
I imagine he'd have a fairly good engine, but seriously, can we crowdsource some rugby shorts for him?
I'll try my best. I've got lots, but they won't fit him. I'm too fat.
I reckon I've got a pair of Woodville shorts that I could donate in my
probably could, Dave.
in my wardrobe somewhere.
There's a penalty towards Old Collegians. It looks like I didn't see the action.
So it's the pressure on the scrum, I imagine.
Oh, not bound. There we go. Right, they've taken a quick tap and they're running, trying to catch Woodville off guard.
He's gone out on that far side, and there is Lavakiaho. Potentially a new member of Chris Bartlett's family. Potential brother-in-law, I'm being told.
Great clean out. That was a good clean out.
Looks like someone's come the worse off for it. That's the Woodville number 6.
That is a good turnover from a clean out recovery. That was really good.
I tell you, we've talked about we talked about Woodville and the steps that they've taken, and like I said, when they woke up this morning, certainly the players will have looked at this and thought to themselves, "There's a chance here.
If you get a shot on." Well, how long have we been going for now, Dave? It's 11 minutes and 50.
Certainly
And,
you've got the
it's
upper hand.
0-0.
Certainly you've got the upper hand.
Great clean out.
Tom Price at the bottom of it with his hands on the...
Dave, yeah, I'm one for dad jokes.
Okay, no,
Right,
I mean,
so
I won't
there's,
ever...
There was
Yeah.
a junior sort of quiz night. I did 280 dad jokes in one day, so I'm going to give you one, right?
Okay.
I spotted an albino Dalmatian the other day.
Are these okay, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I spotted an albino Dalmatian the other day. It's the least I could do. Do you get it? I'm looking at Dave's
I
face.
do
I'm
get
looking
it. I mean, I got it as soon as you said I spotted an albino Dalmatian.
It's so good. Like, as you're a dad, like I had a couple of it's so good.
But that's a bit niche, isn't it?
It's so good.
Hey, I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
think there's an art form to it. But
There's
it's a
an
bit-
absolute art form.
It's a bit niche.
No, I'm a dad.
Can we get the emu story while we've got a break and play?
Yeah, there we can. All right, so Matt Connor and I were coaching for a long time at Woodies, and we had a prop problem because we couldn't, find any or get any. And usually when someone from PNG or Fiji or New Zealand roll around the corner and say, I want to play, they usually say, what position? And they say, flanker, number 8. And that's the role.
They're always fly halves.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all fly halves.
Yeah. So Medics rocked around the corner and he said, hey coach, I would like to play rugby for you guys. And Matt says, oh, okay, what position do you play? And he said, I'm a specialist tight head prop.
I said, wow, okay.
So I looked at Matt, I looked up in the sky and I said, thank you, God props.
The god of props.
The God of props. And Medics played his first game and you were commentating and you called him Emu because he doesn't walk backwards. He couldn't take a step backwards.
Ah.
You did.
That's
You
a
called
clever.
him.
That's a
Yeah.
clever nickname.
I can't believe. I know it's clever. You thought of it. I don't know.
I've forgotten that I thought of it, but that's a great nickname.
Yeah, Emu. He's a good guy.
Chris, come around. On the near side.
Yes.
Got it.
Got it.
Got it.
You must have texted about 10 people.
No, I did some research, and like I said, his Facebook doesn't really help. But it came to me eventually. I knew it would. I'm terrible with names.
Okay, here we go. Pressure's on. We've got
Yes, back
a
to the
line
rugby.
out.
Oh, good line out off two.
Good pass.
Adcock
Good
into the
pass.
centres, the wraparound again. They are enjoying the wraparound, but Ormsby had read that very, very early and got into a position, and then
Didn't really see any arm on
Trent
there, but
Ormsby managed to snaff a little way. And the box
It's an
kick
up and
is going
under.
to put some
It's an up
pressure
and
on the
under.
fullback, which
Oh,
he's done
great
very,
save.
very well. Adcock again will sit into half-back,
well, he's
and
done
then
the same
he's
thing. He's
box
on
kicked.
the up and under, looking for some pressure.
Well, he didn't call the mark. Suppose it's a bit old school, isn't it, the mark?
Not sure anyone does it anymore, Dave.
Knock on, Woodville scrum. That was impressive from Riley Angus at the back, because he would have heard some footsteps then, wouldn't
There
he?
was 3 right on his heels, for sure. It's a good position you're in.
I mean,
It's not the Old Collegians of...
it's not, is it?
No.
I mean, even to the point where you would have thought that Radbone, I think it was, who came across, if he marks that, then there's a line out outside the 22 that they have to defend.
Absolutely.
Because he didn't mark it, they're now defending a scrum.
Yeah. That would have been a smart
Very,
play.
very, very close.
Absolute smart play. Oh, scrum collapsed on
That's
the left-hand side there.
massive.
Penalty.
And a
Something's happening there,
penalty.
Not binding.
Well, I tell you right now, the Emu and Tom Price will not be happy at that.
They will not. You can see Amy walking back there.
But forwards. Backwards, forwards. It's like Zoolander, he's incapable.
Can't turn left.
They're having a chat now, Mr. Price and the Emu, just trying to work
Did you
out
see
what's
that?
going
That was
on.
like, I'm not sure, but props. I've been around forwards my entire
Speak
life.
their own language, don't they?
They talk with touching and grunting and stuff like that. But that little slap on the shoulder from Tom Price to Emu was like, do your job.
Ormsby has just found a way through, gets the offload away. Couple of missed tackles in midfield, and it's
Pressure's
not
on
something
here.
that Woodville can keep doing. It was a problem that they had. Ormsby again. Now we'll try and find some space over the back. How's the
a great
bounce?
kick
The
in the
bounce
corner.
is good. So there will be a defensive line out for Woodville.
That's a great kick. That's a so what's that, a 40, 50 metre gain they just did there?
And it comes from, and it was something that we talked about a lot against Elizabeth, is once that gain line is broken and we start going into scrambling defence, that's where Woodville start to cause themselves a little bit of problem. And like you say, that's then led, I think it was 2 or 3 missed tackles in midfield, has led to
The pressure.
this very, very, and they've turned over the scrum. McDonough running hard in midfield. Counterbuck just tried to slow things down. Ormsby again. Trying to find a way through. Doesn't.
A lot of pressure on
Finally
the
gone to
right-hand
ground.
side here.
Lots and lots of pressure it would be against the run of
He's a
play
big
if
lad.
they get
He's a
there. He
big
is a
lad.
big boy. And he gets it down.
What's his name, mate?
Lavakiaho.
Well, I seen him rock up today, and he just had his backpack all on. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's going to be like a second rower.
No, and I think it's his debut today. I think it's his A-grade debut today. And, hey, we've been looking that way for almost 17 of the 18 minutes.
That's right.
And 2-3 missed tackles in midfield has led to a try. And it is against the run of the play.
Yep.
It is against the run of play.
But it's a thing that Woodville, what are you going to do from now on, going back up?
Certainly you don't want to put your heads down. I mean, they have been the better side.
So far, yeah.
Without a
I'd say so.
shadow of a doubt. The scrums they obviously need to fix. They'll
Unlucky on the
push
kick.
that one, or as Lincoln Ormsby just pushes it to the right-hand side. No real excuse today. The ground is perfect. There isn't really any wind to speak of.
No, there's not a breath, eh?
I don't know where we're getting 25 kilometres an hour from. Maybe that's on the top of Mount Lofty.
It's definitely not here.
But yeah, it's a good contestable restart again, you would think.
You see, the first person up on that line was Emu. He was the tight head prop, and he was the first one to go, I want to get some people. That's
Georgiadis
kick.
is after it. It's very, very deep. Smedley will then send it in field.
spinning it wide like Old Coles do.
There we go. This is more like the old
Old
Coles.
Coles,
Edgar
yeah. Great
couldn't
tackle.
quite get away from Boati. Going to look that side again, and there he is again. Doesn't quite get away from the first tackle. A bit of Jonah
good.
Lobo about him, hasn't he?
He does, yeah. Good contest in the rucks from both sides.
He's blessed on the whistle there. He's pointing as well. Not happy with something.
There we go.
Hands in the ruck. Potentially pulling. Did he? I don't know.
Pulling them down. I didn't
Pulling
see.
somebody in. Certainly can't pull the half back into it. But again, just a little bit of disciplinary mistakes, and I think Lindsay will look at that restart and think to himself, okay, so the deep one's not an option.
I'm not sure that was straight, but I'm biased.
Ormsby to Ormsby, then into midfield. Well, both of them started to pick him up and then thought better of it. The offload to Lincoln Ormsby. Shouts have come
Go
right.
right, that's what they were shouting, wasn't it?
Ormsby just behind Edgar.
He's dropped
yeah,
it.
a little bit of a knock on. He just tried to pull his hands away from that, Carl Edgar. Couldn't quite get them away.
Good play from both of them, like good attacking play and good pressure from Woodville, and the hands just weren't there, David.
I tell you what, we've got a scrum sort of bang in front of us now, so
Now we get to
let's
watch.
put our analyst hats on and
All
see
right.
whether
So
we can find where the issue is. I think
let's see the grips. Let's start with the
I'm
grips, Dave.
going to start. I've got a feeling that with a brand new second rower that there may be something there.
So he's got the
I can't
grips on the
imagine that
medics.
it's either Tom or Emu.
We'll see the binds if we can.
Very low down.
That's more secure. Oh,
just-
that's popping.
Just driving straight up.
Oh, wow, that was. I I didn't like the look of that one, Dave, to be honest.
And Georgiades is slow getting up. I tell you, it's a different world being in the Type 5 of that scrimmage.
It's special from footy.
It will not be anything he's ever experienced.
I'm not sure actually what happened there. I reckon it happened on the far side of the scrum,
Certainly
Dave.
the old Coles from the road just went straight upwards.
Tom Price's face is not happy, man. I'm not sure what happened.
I mean,
So he's playing.
you would suggest it would have happened on the far side because Mr. Clements is over this side, so Emu and Bradley Killick will be behaving themselves, while the other two will be up to all sorts of shenanigans.
Absolutely, as you do, Dave.
That's the way it works.
The referee
isn't it?
can only see so much. That's a better scrum. Oh,
Yeah, there is. That's an interesting battle over on that far side between
that is a
Reece
great
Ward.
deep
It
kick
is, and
from
that takes a
Lindsay
nice
Adcock.
nice bounce. Now,
so that's
it is a
50-metre kick.
50-20. It should be a 50-20?
Wrong sport, mate.
50-22.
Right sport, wrong code.
No, here's the thing.
No.
Yes? It's going to be a Woodville ball. Should be a Woodville ball.
When did that happen?
This year?
Oh, well, I've been in France. Olé le bleu.
That's definitely within his own 50 and within the 22.
He hit it just outside
Should
the
be a
10.
Woodville ball.
Are you sure this is a real rule, Dave?
Well, I was surprised as you, but... Oh,
Emu!
turned away.
Emu's
Nice
caught
little
it.
offload as well. Will find his way to ground. How's his support? Support is good enough. Adcock will sit in there and look to Georgiades. Wasn't there a Georgiades who played AFL last year?
I don't know.
Answers on a
Emu
postcard.
is all over.
Oh,
the
he's
place
away
here,
again.
Dave. He caught that from the line out and did the clean out.
Counter ruck is good. Arm is out for something. Adcock. Oh, over the top. Smedley did a good job closing the gap.
No advantage. What was the decision there, Dave? Do you know?
Not rolling away.
Right. What would you do here, Dave? Oh, quick
That
tap's
probably. I mean, personally, I would like to just put some points on the board and then go at them again.
gone. Yeah. Get the ball back.
They're very, very close, though, just waiting for an arm to go up. There it is.
Well,
They bring the scores back.
back.
They always do it. Whenever you get upset about them tapping and going, they're always saying something into it.
Yeah, it's not until you get in the change rooms later when you've done a quick tap and it didn't work out and the props
Yeah.
grab you and they go, Bluey, if you do that again, I'll rip your head off.
They're the ones that I would be standing behind going, you better score. You had better score.
Yeah, yeah.
So they've tied it up with
This is
the
an
kick
arm
to
wrestle.
come.
This is a. I think
It
this
is
is
an
a real
arm
arm
wrestle,
wrestle.
isn't it? You know, Woodville are... They're looking good. I mean, if they can tidy up that scrum...
I think Old Collegians might, because they're at sixes and sevens themselves. You know what I mean? There's not like I haven't seen the structure. Remember we talked about like when the ball went wide, that's the Old Collegian structure. We've only seen that once or twice today.
I mean, from a... look, Seb Lavakiaho certainly is dangerous. So we talked about them losing... We talked about them losing... Carl Fleetwood Piper. I talked to Peter Arnold. That's a big out. And obviously Liam McDonough as the flags go up. Great kick, and it went through, to use the football parlance, post high. And then obviously Liam McDonough has moved into the back row. So as much as I love Rob Smedley, I don't think we're going to be seeing much strike running from him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a halfback in his day, a halfback first five in his day. So he was never...
Yeah.
He was obviously pacey, but he was never winger pacey.
Well, not everyone can be as fast as you, Dave.
I tell you, back in my day, tell you.
It's a long day.
Long, yeah.
Emu, he's all over it today.
Yeah, he just probably needed to die with that. He tried the offload and he's put themselves under all sorts of pressure now.
You're right. Right hand
Ormsby.
side.
He will look on the outside, tried to get the offload away to Edgar, and again just threw it at the ankles of Edgar.
See, I haven't been here for a while, Dave, but a couple of years ago, those little errors, they would not do that. They would just go straight to hand, you know, the basics.
And that was always it with Old Collegians.
They had
I remember saying it, when they were in that absolute pomp, their bad rugby was better than everybody else's.
Yeah.
Their default rugby, because what happens is that, you know, game plans and structure are easy when you're not under pressure. What happens when you go under pressure, as with the vast majority of South Australian clubs, is the rugby goes out the window.
Yeah.
Back in their pomp,
Yeah.
when they were under pressure, their rugby just got better.
That's right. Yeah. Another great kick. That's Kyle. Kyle
it's not a bad kick. That's a good take, though. So it's going to bounce in front of Smedley. He does well to pick it up. And he's going to create himself a 2-on-1. He gets corralled into touch. Manages to hold up before he gets there. Killick has it
right in front of his
off him by Lueng, and then he loses it forward, and then they're going to try and drag him into touch.
Medics, look at him. Emu is right over here. He's I can't
Got
say
some work to go over that far side. Edgar gets it away again.
They've got to make the tackle there.
Such a strong run of the offload.
Turnover.
Is it going to be turned over? It is going to be turned over.
Now you need an Adcock leg.
He's just got to find. They're outside the 22 now, so they've taken that option away. Can't quite see a signal. I don't even know which way this one's going.
Big shout out to Lewis Adcock as well up in Queensland. He's been trying to make it up there. Had a bit of an injury. I think he dislocated his elbow. But he's coming back this week, or coming back up there to play this week. I loved watching Lewis, and I think you did as well, Dave.
He certainly played on the edge, did Lewis.
He had 1 foot on the line, Dave.
Oh, sometimes he stuck both of them over there.
Sometimes.
I remember the Division 1 final. It was, I think we saw it coming from a mile off in the commentary booth. We knew it was coming. I think they were playing Souths in the final.
Yeah.
I think it was him and McKeaney, and both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them have a very short blue touch paper.
I definitely remember that. I was coaching, so it was. I remember before the game. Lewis, please.
That was the year he missed out on the Don Smith, wasn't it?
I think that was. Yeah, it was. I'll take my own perception off that. Yes, it was.
Goes again.
He's on it. He's a strong lad.
Oh, I tell you what. He's unlucky not to get the benefit there, because he held on to that for a long time when he was on the floor. But Old Collegians again have managed to just build themselves into a position.
Taking it forward.
Woodville now have to put their backs to the wall and not let them through.
Setting a good foundation, aren't they?
And Old Collegians at the moment just taking it little bit by little bit at the moment. So they'll be happy to do. Now the
big switch move. Did you see
that?
Yeah,
it's starting to come, and I think
maybe they don't need it.
They're not going to have to. They're just going to put their head down and go right through the middle. Penalty for offside.
That was great work from Old Collegions and the pressure they're putting in the. Oh, that was a terrible pass.
That's ordinary. And that's a big call for your winger out there. And he kind of discretion was the better side of valor there for him. He just looked like he was making an attempt.
I think there was a siren on that ball, I think, Dave.
A little knock on, but another big loud blast of the whistle. I think he's going to want to speak to somebody. And it's a scrum.
It's a scrum. I thought it would have been a penalty, Dave.
It was a big loud blast of the whistle for a penalty, wasn't it? For a scrum.
I'll tell you what, the work that Old Collegians did there going through the centre, they should have just kept going and just consolidate, get that ball back, recycle it. The big Hail Mary pass to the winger, I'm not sure that was the best way to go.
I tell you what, in your head, they look amazing before you throw it.
Oh, Dave, I've done a lot of those.
And then you throw it. See, Jack Darby coming to my defence here. How did we miss the 50-22? It's definitely a thing.
Well, there you go. Jack, well done. I don't know this is a rule. I'm not sure anyone does.
No, they do. We've had a couple of them on the broadcast already. And Woodville just done out of one there. Ormsby on the wrap around, and there's
that's a better pass.
That's a better pass from Ormsby.
Oh!
Yep, I'll tell you what, Chris Cumberland, very, very, very generous. You don't have to put a lot of downward pressure on it. But I tell you what, there was some Old Collegians behind us with their hearts in their mouths, and they saw that finish.
That was a better. When you do a cutout pass, that
was better.
That's better. That's much better.
So they'll go 3 points ahead with the kick to come.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on with haircuts these days.
I mean, you're as follically challenged as I am, so you know, would I be growing a hair? Would I be having a haircut like that if I had hair? I don't think so. But then again, I'm hardly a dedicated follower of fashion.
My son came home the other day, and they'd cut his hair in school. Oh, it's a great
better. Kick. Oh, snuck it in.
That's a great kick. Yeah, so they cut his hair in class, and he looked like Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. Like, he was asking me for a haircut, and they cut his hair, and I went, it saved me $35, and he loves it.
Well,
maybe start a trend.
There's no accounting for taste, is there?
Who's at the front up there?
He's there again, is the emu. Does he get a head start? How does he get there first? I'm going to watch that next time. Hopefully from a Woodville point of view, we don't get to see it again, but he's gone deep again.
Costa's going for it.
That's a better one.
Costa, he's got it.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to get with him. With the ball in the air, he's going to have great hands. There's Emu at halfback. And the real prop halfback pass there.
Specialist tight head prop, please, Dave.
There'll be someone in that area. I'm just going to throw it there. A little bit sideways, which is okay as long as you have someone coming forward, and didn't really have him. But they're going to go back for something.
Didn't see the arm.
Here's where if I was Adcock, I'd be getting my hands on the ball here.
I'd be points.
No, well, make it work. You got to finish it. Adcock loses it forward. You're going to take the first one. Who's the captain? Is it Lindsay?
Yeah.
He needs to just take control of that.
I'm not sure.
The halfback. I mean, it was equal numbers when he went.
It was on, right? But as you said, if you kick the points, you get the ball back.
You get the ball back, and you potentially going into half-time 2 points now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rather than 5.
You know, as a coach, these are coach killer moments. You know, you can scream as much as you want.
Nor do you want to get rid of that creativity and the cavalier rugby.
Yeah.
I mean, if everybody played rugby as the coaches want to do, it would be a very boring game, wouldn't it?
That would be terrible. I never played it that way.
I always just saw coaches as, advice.
When did you ever listen to advice, Dave?
Optional advice.
Optional advice. Yeah. How long have we got to half-time there, Dave?
Around 5 minutes. Just about 5 minutes on the
some more pressure on
the Vonnex scoreboard.
I'd love to see, I haven't seen it for a while, Woodville were really good at years ago, like when I first started coaching, was the maul. Like just pick down and drive.
It's obviously it's clearly a decision that they made. Out the back,
great legs.
Great line. But he's very, very, that's beautiful from Voati.
It was great.
Because he was all sorts of isolated.
Big overlap on the
There's
left.
The big fella. Big Emu again, getting you some yards.
His work rate's been great. I think they're going the wrong way. If you look at the overlap on the left here, Dave.
Wouldn't mind one more from Lindsay.
Yeah.
Then he needs to be talking about it. But he's wandering around with his hand. Where is he? Now he wants it. Where is he? Just getting stuck in and around. Have they turned it over? No. He's in at halfback. Georgiadis, just keep hold of it, big fella. Someone's got to be transitioning now. Price. Short ball.
Sam Jolly.
Good from Sam Jolly as well. No real thought of finishing. The little show and go, and he got really excited, and so excited he dropped the ball and turnover.
C'est la vie, Dave.
Hey, you're happy to have handling errors there rather than anywhere else. Back to Ormsby. That's a great clearance kick.
That is.
Is it going to? But just depends on which way it bounces, and it bounces beautifully for Old Collegians. But that's again
great long placement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon.
I think so. Mr. Killick was the second one in.
Yeah, I reckon. You're right, Dave.
It's so annoying, but it's true.
It's a rule. It's like,
It is.
I don't
Killick
agree with it.
He was not the tackler. Again, we're seeing it in, a little bit delayed, but Killick is the... I tell you what. Yeah, no, he's the second one in.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can do. Unless you are the tackler. Got no rights to it.
No, that's right.
And do you know what? Ironically, if he just put his head down and driven over that,
You would have won the ball.
they would have won the ball. Certainly there was a mismatch there. They're going to get another shot at it. Ball is mucky and gone to ground. Everybody missed it. Adcock.
Look at that! Look at that line speed from Old Collegians.
Just got to make sure that they finish it properly, though.
Oh no, I mean from Old Collegians. The
That's what I
defensive
mean.
line speed,
Like from a Woodville point of view, where they needed to take advantage of it.
Interception.
That's Bradley Killick who's over there clearing up. Tell you what, I bet he was glad that somebody tackled him because that's a long old run for a prop forward.
Yeah. Well, you can
Another
hear the
big
coaches on the other
clearance.
side of the screen, the pitch. They're screaming like Panigapuri is screaming away like.
That's not
"Work."
gone into touch as well. And oh my lord, that's a terrible kick. Smedley hacks it
Here
forward.
we go. What does Nathan do?
That's Smedley in front of him.
Oh,
Smart from Smedley. It's actually worked out to be not a terrible kick. It wasn't. Oh,
no!
wouldn't be exactly what you wanted.
Turns out that kick was okay, Dave.
Turns out. I mean, it was ugly.
It was an ugly kick.
Wouldn't have been your first choice,
Yeah,
but
I know.
you know, when the lights come on at the end of the night, you'll take anything.
Yeah. But young Nathan there, it's who collected the ball and decided to try and take on Smedley. I'm not sure that was the.
Just smart from Smedley, and I think this is, this is something that, when I was coaching, when I talked to kids around rugby, it's about making your opposite number make a decision.
Yeah.
If Smedley had rushed at him, then he makes the decision for the attacker.
Yeah, owning that
So
space.
he owned the space,
Yeah.
and he said, "Okay, you make a decision on how you get past me."
That's right.
And he had 3 or 4, and I think he went with none of them.
Free kick.
Because if you're honest, that young man really should have had the pace to go on the outside against Smedley.
100%. Smoke him.
Should have done.
Yeah.
But the defence from Smedley was so intelligent that he took that away.
Great take.
Really good take because he got man and ball.
Getting manhandled.
And
I
stolen.
lost.
But locks forward. A little bit of a knock on.
I missed that. What happened there, Dave?
It was a knock on.
Well said. There we go. The arms up, knock on. Do you think it will come down to a fitness thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can't argue with that as we're in red time for the first half. I think
There's a few arms on heads before.
there is, but I mean,
12-7 going into half time.
I look, it's either going to be one of two things. Either they're both going to fall off and it will just become a slog, or one team's going to break it open. And I can't say which way that's going to go. Just
No,
yet.
me either.
Adcock, that's a
great leg.
kick. If he
That's
can,
a great leg. If Nathan can take that ball.
Oh, it's lost from Smedley. That's a great come across and cover penalty.
Oh,
Is that going to be an
I'm
offside?
not sure what happened here.
Well, this is the only thing I can think would be an offside, and possibly driving up from the scrum. Scrums have been messy.
They have been a bit messy.
Yeah, standing up.
Hinging.
Standing up in the scrum.
Is it hinging? Is that what they call it? Hinging? I'm looking at Dave and he's shrugging his shoulders. He's like, I'm not a forward.
Right, so the few times I refereed, I used to say to the forwards, I've got no idea what you're doing, so let's just have scrums, please. I will just reset them over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So if you want to play rugby, you lot sort it out.
Yeah.
The dark arts of the front row.
Who's up the front? Honestly,
I tell you what, it's an early call for man of the match, but I'll take it.
Medics is all over it. Like, he's first to set the line out. Now, when you think about like a prop making that much effort around the pitch the whole game, I'm tipping my hat. Good line out one.
Oh, that's nice from running around the side as well.
Liam's he's been a great influx to this club, and I really appreciate, and we all do appreciate his time here. He's actually moving back to Wales pretty soon. Hopefully he'll come back out. But what a great take. Emu again.
Again, he will give you that yardage.
But Liam's been a good pickup, and
nice and patient.
Tommy Price is on the
with
wing.
the draw and give, and then he just looked inside. He had a player outside him, decided against it, and as long as the ball comes back their way, that'll be fine. It does come back their way. Tries to find half a gap, doesn't find the gap. Would be an absolutely wonderful time to score if they can score. Big loud blast of the whistle, another straight arm, high tackle.
If they can score before half time,
I'd
Dave,
be really looking and thinking about.
Well played.
And especially if they're going to go one down, it looks like it's just a chat at the moment. It hasn't gone to a pocket, but
just a warning.
Scrum midfield, especially with them having a penalty from the last scrum as well, and they're going to be watching it middle of the park, big blind side.
Yeah, sure.
Well, he's gone for the shot.
Dave, you're like a genius. I'm not sure how you do this, but did you put that in his head?
No. But going in 2 points down rather than 5, certainly massive. I think this is probably going to be the last action of the half.
I think there's there wasn't that much injury time at all, was there?
Well, there was the head injury that we had early on, which was slightly lengthy because we got your wonderful albino Dalmatian joke.
Just got a big bluey from Craig Bashford and Big Shed Brewery. Just want to give them the heads up. And
that one will go through. And that one will be half time. So I'm going to swap microphones. I'm going to go and have a wander out and see whether I can catch somebody. But 10 points to 12 at half time. Woodville down by the 2, but certainly it's an interesting start. Tommy! Hey. I'm going to wander over to Tom Price. Just going to try and grab him for 2 seconds. I'll walk with him for 2 seconds, so at least you might be able to hear me. So, Tommy, just a very, very quick one. Scrummaging, what's going on?
We're going backwards, David.
Yeah, so is this something we're going to fix at half-time?
I'd like to think so, David.
You come fix it. Wonderful start, though, Tommy. As per usual with Mr. Price, not a huge amount from him, but you can take from that what he will. He certainly is not happy with the way that the scrum's going. What is the problem? It's going backwards, and they are going to try and fix it. We will take a very short break. This one is on a knife edge, and this one could go either way. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go nowhere. We'll be back after the break. in. I said, what's going on in the scrums? He goes, we're going backwards, David. I said, are we going to fix it? I said, what's the fix? He goes, we'll
Go
fix
forward.
it. We'll fix it.
He'll go forward. I was talking to Johnny Roast and I can't remember his name from Old Collegians. He was like, I have to say these two words. They're instantaneously phenomenal. they're buzzwords.
I feel like you've just won a prize or something for getting that in.
Might be a beer, Dave.
Might have been.
Might be a beer.
Okay, Ormsby.
Wow, around the
out
back.
the back. Smedley. Smedley will ease his way through the gap and then just lose it. You've said it before.
That's an interesting conversation with Tom saying how the scrum's going. We're going backwards, and how do you fix that? I was sure he was going to say we're just going to go forward.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think they will have lost that into touch, so they're going to have a choice. So it's going to be interesting. You'd take the line out, wouldn't you? Because your scrums have been spotty at best.
Yeah. Unless the front row have actually went into the change rooms and given each other a pep talk.
My feeling is that when you have, looking at Georgiadis, and scrum technique is not going to be massive for him, and he's not the fullest unit out there, shall we say?
Yep.
I mean, he's not at the point where he has to run around in the shower to get wet, but there's not a lot of him.
That's a nice way of saying it, Dave. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this is problems.
Offloaded.
Edgar, I tell you what. Real rugby league hit from Carl Edgar.
Get out of the way, he says.
It's not bad from Georgiadis, though. We're certainly keeping an eye on him. Oh, just messy.
Oh, no.
A big cut-out pass from Ormsby again, and it's going to work for him.
It's through.
It is going to work for him. No signal. It's going to ask held up. So, it's going to be a goal line dropout.
Looks like it. Now, can I ask you a question?
You can try.
I'm not sure. So, at what age group does the goal line dropout go into from juniors? So,
not sure. Answers on a postcard, please.
I think. So what I understand is that it's under 16s that you have a goal line dropout.
I'm just trying to look on our replay who's actually got across and held him up. It's the fullback, I think, with the fullback manages to get over there. I think, to be honest, the lack of celebration from Old Collegians kind of gives that away.
Yeah.
Ormsby to McDonough to Smedley, and they've got numbers out here if they can use it. Short ball. Oh, and then I can tell you what, Carl Edgar.
I think he should be backing himself.
He's had Robbie Ferguson-esque service today as Carl Edgar.
I think the new winger should be actually backing himself and running 100 miles an hour in the gap. Could be me, Dave. I'm not sure.
Hey, I don't disagree with you.
Being a littler lad, I always wished I had that bigger frame with the speed. It's good to hear a fullback barking orders at the back wing. I love it.
So
that's what they're supposed to do.
Fullback is Rob Smedley.
I love it.
Just to see a little bit more of the field.
When they're barking orders at the other two wingers.
First, second half scrum and backwards again. Look, hey, I've got a huge amount of good things to say about Georgiadis, but I think he might be your weak link. I think scrummaging technique.
I think they're trialling him here right now.
Yeah, and I think you're just losing him. I think I would rather look at putting him in the back row somewhere and get somebody in that second row. Just a little bit of technique. Because locking out, it's not something that comes natural.
No.
Because once that pressure comes on, all you want to do is step backwards.
That's right, yeah.
And that's about what they can hope for. Adcock trying to find a way through. Takes 3 Old Collegians, so if they can get it moving quickly, there's got to be an overlap somewhere.
Oh, I'm not sure that was the right idea.
You may as well just have walked and handed that to Rob Smedley, but Smedley.
Wow. That's a great tackle.
Really good tackle, a good offload as well, and that's not a bad kick.
That's a great kick. Pumped it straight back in there, put the pressure back on.
Found itself into the 22. It's only the 40, so that's not. It's not going to be an Old Collegians ball. Yeah, I think certainly that kick from Vuata was not.
It was a lucky. Oh, it wasn't a lucky. It was a great tackle after it, but that was.
But it's only because of the fumble from Smedley.
100%.
I mean, like I said, he may as well have just wandered up and handed it to Smedley.
Yeah.
You can't turn over possession, especially in a game that's as close as this. And that, whoa, very nearly went all the way. That's a nice half break.
Run.
Old Collegians happy to leave it alone. Adcock, left-footed. Good clearance, and Woodville will ensure that there's no quick line-up coming.
Takes it to the 10 from that position. It's pretty good.
Someone gone to a knee for Woodville. Is that a halfback? Woodville stole it, but a free kick.
Free kick?
Numbers?
Not sure.
Potentially numbers, I think.
Oh, they've gone for the scrum.
And Kyle Witcher was just receiving some treatment. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Of course.
Old Collegians have the ascendancy at the moment in the scrum.
Steady.
And as much as I love Tommy and Emu, if the support from behind you just isn't quite there.
Yeah.
Just trying to look at options as well, though. I mean, do you move Liam into the second row? Are you going to get more from him there?
No, I'd be putting Doug into the second row, who's playing on the open side flank right now. I'd be putting him in there. Because he'll just
Smedley again out the back, and then
Great
the inside ball, and then the offload to Smedley.
Wow.
Smedley doesn't back himself, sends it back inside. That is massive from Vacchiaho. He is going to cause some defences some problems.
I reckon so. How old is he, you reckon?
See, I did speak to him. It's hard to tell because I went and spoke to him. I mean, he's anywhere between 18 and 42.
I like it, Dave.
But yeah, that's it's a big day out for the youngster out there. Sam Bauer.
You're right. I'd be looking at maybe changing the engine room in the scrum.
I mean, it almost has to be. My eyes are terrible to look at your bench, but it doesn't look like there's any massive cattle over there at the moment.
I don't think you need to look at the bench. I think you need to just shift it around what's currently there.
Yeah, because looking at the bench, have you got 2 on there?
He's nailed that.
Yeah, kick's gone up and gone through. So 19 points to 10. Early doors, but again, might just be a wake-up call for Woodville. And again, they can't let the heads drop. And that's something that we've seen from Woodville as well. I mean, keep an eye on their body language.
Yep.
I think if they lose another try, if they concede another try without getting back, it would be a really interesting watch to see as they come back.
I reckon that if you need some type of motivation, it would be a flary thing or a great set play that will take you to. Here we go. Costa's up there.
Yeah, he is as well. Putting that pressure on. It's a good tackle as well.
I reckon he's going to be a great open side flanker.
If his engine is an AFL engine,
yeah,
I can't disagree with you, but your big downside at the moment, I think, is your scrummaging.
Yeah.
He's too slight. Whoa. McDonough met in midfield. They've got numbers on this near side as well. And I tell you what, the move of Rod Smedley from winger to fullback has been absolute genius because he's been silky smooth at the back. Edgar.
What a great tackle.
Really good tackle on this near side, and that's for half-back again, who's got through some work today. And I think he's going to have to do the full 80 minutes as well. I think most of these people in green and yellow are going to have to do the 80.
Both sides. I don't think there's much bench depth in the other team either, Dave.
Ormsby over the top. Be a hell of a bounce to for them to get the ball back.
Yeah, just checking the old Coles bench. I think
There's a
three.
number of people in jackets over there.
It's cold though.
Oh, well, that's true. But Timmy Dawes is over there as well. I tell you what, he'd be itching to get involved in this, wouldn't he? When your scrum is as dominant as it is, Timmy Dawes would be itching over it.
Yeah.
Hard when your head coach is stood at fullback, though, to stand on his shoulder and, hey, coach.
Come on,
coach.
mate. Let me in.
Come on, coach.
I'm good to go.
Woodville lineup. The lineup's been good for Woodville today.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, he's done well. Adcock. Oh, I saw a gap. Door got shut by McDonough. Been impressive in his promotion into the big boys. Luang manages to get away from another one. Liam McDonough racking up his tackle count again. Well, that looks like a change.
Jamie Pavell.
Georgiadis is still there.
Something's happened in the back there. I'm not sure.
He came out of one of the breakdowns holding his hand.
It might be a dislocation.
I hate them.
Just put tape on it, mate. You're right.
That's what I hate about it. Like, we're so lackadaisical as far like dislocated fingers, and everyone's like, just like tape it up, damage it more.
We were playing out at Barossa, and Lewis Adcock came over to the sideline, and his index and ring finger were both dislocated in the same way, and he ran over and he put him in himself, and then he goes, "Don't worry about it," and ran back on the pitch.
Makes no sense to me.
I don't like getting hurt much.
I've seen some horrible ones. Honestly, I've seen some horrible ones. And, like, you know, I mean, it just adds to the argument that some of the forwards have an IQ lower than the number on the back.
Oh, that's a bit rough, mate. And you're only saying that because they're on the pitch and they can't hear you.
I can still run away from them as well, I reckon. I can still back myself. When I can't back myself anymore, then I'll be polite to them.
Oh, because we're talking.
Some special comments coming to us from
we've got little ones.
Little ones. So it is a Woodville scrum over on that far side.
Let's see if the scrum can hold here. So Jamie Pavell came on.
So they've lost.
Yep.
Is that for the news?
Shh.
Special comment. I think they're all cool youngsters.
I'm not sure. That's
I don't
funny.
know.
Is that for the news? They said.
No, they've moved on to the camera operator, so you say it's okay.
Let's see if Jamie can shore up that front row.
So who've they taken off?
Actually, that looks a bit better. Bit more weight, not so much popping.
It's still going
backwards, but go Kyle.
He's done well and got some good yardage. He needs the support now. Gets it. A bit slow. So, hey, I tell you what, it looks like they've taken off the hooker, and I've now got quite possibly the biggest front row in the state at the moment.
Jamie Pavell again. Tommy Price, see what he does here.
You know it's going to come back your way. I tell you what, Ormsby's lucky he didn't get hands on then, because that's in the side. Oh, Liam Lung just going hard and straight and fast.
He's made the advantage line, which is what you want.
That's all you can ask for. Price
again.
Wasn't really sure that he was ready for a run again so quickly, but needs must. Now they're away again.
Jamie Pavell again.
I tell you, this is good. This is really good from Woodville. A sustained amount of possession. Good phase rugby. Just simple rugby. He's going to go sideways and look for something. Thought about the offload.
Get some support.
Didn't make a huge amount of yardage forward. Adcock. Good tackle from Ormsby. There's a couple that's happened from Old Collegians where they just come in from the side and sort of flopped over just to slow things down a little bit. It's a good counter ruck from Old Collegians. He's in at the side though, and they're okay though. Bradley Killick, acted halfback. Kicks away.
Just
How's the
gonna roll
chase?
away.
Chase is
There's a few back
looking
there.
good.
A few back there.
Oh, they're
That's
doing a
right,
kick
that's-
direct to the danger man.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what you want from him.
That's a great tackle.
And
Didn't
not
release.
releasing. I tell you, that is a win for
Just
young
the
Sam Bauer.
Just the basics, Dave.
tell you-
Oh, no.
The amount, he has been second best all day today in that winger battle.
I reckon.
And he has made an absolutely stonking tackle.
That was a great tackle. Plus, not someone else has mouthed off as well, so you lose 10 yards. Another good kick by Lewis.
Okay, we have a chance to do this
By
now.
Lindsay.
So we're going to go around the grounds. Brighton beating Port Adelaide 24 points to 0. I'm not sure. I want it to be a surprise for you as well, mate.
Oh, I'm getting surprised by Dave. Go on.
Southern Suburbs 43 points to 0 over Adelaide Uni. Big shout out to Hamish Gardner there, who made 250. His 250th
Yeah, right.
period today. Sarah Hunter made, I think it was her 100th today, either a 100th or a 200th. So, tip of the hat to the people at South. Burnside hosting Elizabeth at Burnside. Burnside 15, Elizabeth 19.
Wow. Elizabeth's on fire this year.
They look very, very dangerous. And I have to say, after last week, they're not firing on all cylinders.
No, not yet.
They sort out their discipline. Look out.
They've had a good influx of players as well, Dave.
They went, so everyone sort of says to me, they brought players in. They've gone and found people who live in Mildura, who want to play some rugby somewhere, and Elizabeth have accommodated them.
That's right.
They were there for any club. They were there for any club that wanted them.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth have made the effort, and they put on the bus that drives from Mildura every single week.
I think Brosser's the same.
They're closer. They're at least working in the Barossa. The Fijians are working in the Barossa.
They got a load of them. This will be a good scrum. Let's have a look on because we can see directly right into the loose and tight
there's
end
a-
prop grips.
There's a change. They've taken
Second-
the Bakiaho off. Would you think that would be an injury? You wouldn't think that would be tactical, would you?
Not sure.
See whether that front row has stormed up the scrum. It's a lot
That's better.
much more solid and quick. He just needs to go to ground with that penalty. High.
High tackle there.
I'd accept penalty only on that one. It's always going to be difficult to tackle him anything other than high.
With Lindsay's leg, I reckon I want points here.
I think time is starting to march on now. We're approaching
57
20 minutes to go.
You take
9
3
points to
points.
difference.
You take 3 points on that.
Get
Get
you
the
into
ball
within a converted try. Don't hate it. I mean, you're spending a lot of time in here as well. And you see, this is the thing. I remember England back in
I remember England, mate.
the good old days
When?
when we won the World Cup over here.
You do remember I was living in France, right?
I was living in England.
Olé le bleu.
But the thing was, and this is something that you can talk about with Lindsay, is any penalties within
Kicking range.
kicking range you were done.
Yeah.
So you couldn't commit penalties within your own half.
Exactly.
Because Johnny Wilkinson would just kick you to death.
Yeah, exactly. So if you've got a leg like Lindsay Adcock, why wouldn't you just take points
Exactly.
every time?
Because it's a penalty there, it's 3 points. You commit another penalty within
Yeah.
40, it's 3 points. You commit another penalty, it's 3 points. That idea of scoreboard pressure just doesn't appear to be part of South Australian rugby.
It doesn't.
There's two Northern Hemisphere people sat here at the moment, so we are, scoreboard pressure and keeping it ticking over, and 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points is something for us. This idea that Southern Hemisphere rugby is running rugby and it's all open and
I think it's all shifted as well. Like, I think, you look at the French and English national, all the European national teams right now. They're playing a really unique type of rugby to combat what they've been faced with from the New Zealanders and South Africans.
yeah. But they will. New Zealand do it though. New Zealand will do scoreboard pressure. If there is a kickable penalty, they will kick it.
That's right. And I'm going to say this for all my New Zealand friends out there, because New Zealand's struggling right now. They really need to put their game up to be able to compete in the next World Cup. I'm going to get kicked for this.
Well, I mean, you've called that very early, Bluey.
World Cup's coming, mate.
It is. So this is what I'm talking. So, I mean, now it would have been 16-19 rather than 10-19 because that.
Oh wow!
That line out that they had, they lost.
So now 2 kicks,
So
9 points.
Yeah. So
now it's 19 each.
Yeah. So Adcock's going to look at. He's got the ball in hand now, and now the tee is coming out. I just want to see him be more confident with that. And it's always hard because halfbacks are impetuous little gats, aren't they?
Well, yeah. I think so. You've got to remember that he's. I have to check myself to still remind myself that he's still young.
He is still young.
Like it's not. He's one of the older players or the leadership group, but he's still young.
He is.
Still
got a lot of rugby ahead of him,
and he's got a level head.
I just want to see him start to really take control.
I agree.
Great kick, and now go back.
You get the ball back.
And get the ball back, and restart from here. Get yourself into another kickable position.
Now there's a bit of leg in them. Look, everyone's starting to jog around.
And I said to you, body language, Woodville are perfect for it. And I tell you who your biggest litmus paper is for that is Tom Price. The second you see Tom Price go down,
jogging,
everybody goes down.
I thought you went jogging. Here we go. Costa ain't losing that.
That's
footy player.
That's an incredible skill. Pocket, Lindsay Adcock. It's a great long kick. Now, he was in field when he got hold of that.
I'm not sure actually.
That might be a Woodville ball. It is a Woodville ball.
Well, Dave,
I tell you what,
we're in combination here.
We just
first time ever.
Simpatico.
That was unfortunate though. He actually had his foot inside the line.
And went for it. Yeah, I mean, if he'd held it, fine line between genius and madness. Good
Costa,
line out
you
again.
can't beat him in the air, eh?
That restart, I tell you what, that's not a bad kick.
Oh, in the sun. Oh. He's got it. He's always going to catch that.
That was an inch away from being absolutely perfect. And Georgiadis, all he had to do was put pressure on. Oh, and that got coughed it up.
Scrum down, Woodville ball inside there, 22.
I tell you what, Georgiadis didn't have to make that tackle. He just had to be there, just to put the pressure on. Again, we're watching our delayed replay. He doesn't make the tackle, just there.
I'd never met him, and I walked over to him about 3 weeks ago, and after watching him play, I went, Costa, how are you? I'm Bluey. You don't know who I am, but you're my favourite player right now. That's true. Here we go. This is the teller. How's the scrum?
Hey, that's huge from College again.
College, big scrum.
Oh, he's done well, Liam Leung.
Liam's got it.
Oh, the offload doesn't quite go to hand, but they are going to manage to sort it out. Now, don't do anything silly. They now just have to reset.
That's right.
Reset they do.
Sam Jolly taking it up there in the centres there.
They just need to reset it. The halfback again is struggling again.
Kyle's been hurt.
You don't want to lose Adcock into that number 9 position. And I know Roasty's in street clothes, isn't he? There has been occasions where we've seen Roasty make A-grade berths.
He won't be making it. He's played B grade, and good on him for doing that today. Oh,
I tell you,
that was right from the side there, Dave.
Good for him here. We'll give Mr. Clements the benefit of the doubt.
That really looked over the side of the.
Well, the rugby gods have done the justice.
Justice.
It's still going. I don't know.
I do believe it's gone out on the other side of the pitch.
We talked about this being a battle of attrition. I mean, we're just coming up to 15 minutes left of this game, and again, there's not been a huge amount of stoppage. Just reminded at the moment of that The Rudyard Kipling poem. If you can keep your head while all around you others are losing theirs, is Ormsby. Finds a way through.
Oh, he's picked it up. I'm pretty interested in the Kipling poem. What was that, Dave?
If you can keep your head while all around you are losing theirs. That's what it kind of feels like at the moment. It feels like we're just on the boil.
You're a scholar.
And somebody somewhere is just going to... It's going to take one moment. I thought that was it from Lincoln Ormsby. It's just going to take one moment from either of these two sides.
There's still a fair bit of time in the game.
There is. There's 15 minutes left, and
the attrition you're talking about is there's people like get calves. You can see the wingers pulling calves
cramps
up.
Going to start to come in, and pretty much every single breakdown, the Woodville halfback has come up proppy. So there's a lot going on.
Kyle's a phenomenal player, and he's come through the junior ranks, and this is the halfback you're saying he's amazing, but I think he's starting to hurt out there. He
is starting to hurt. I did see somebody warming up over on the Woodville bench.
It wouldn't be Roasty.
It's not right. Roasty is still away to our left.
Hang on, Dave. Where's my boots?
Yeah, I tell you what, Blue, either way.
I'd be puffed out running to the scrum right now.
So they're just talking to him again. I've lost the player who was warming up, to be honest.
We're watching the replay here. It's a good pass.
Yeah,
good run through.
It's missed tackles again. I tell you what, Sam again.
Sam has been like best tackler today for me, I reckon.
He's come to the party in the last couple of minutes.
Got the ball back.
Because he knocked it on, unfortunately.
But without that effort, he's on it.
Because he did have a shaky start, which, he wouldn't be the first person this year to have a shaky start, but it looks like there are going to be changes for Old Collegians as well. So bringing some fresh legs on.
Their scrum was just dominating today.
Ormsby will straighten. And now they are backs against the wall, Woodville, and this would be a massive shot in the arm for Old Collegians if he can get there. Turned over. Illegally. Well, rolling away.
Rolling away.
So again, at this point, with time ticking down and not having huge amounts, you would hope that Rod Smedley would be getting hold of this ball and saying, put it over.
I think they've changed the wing on the left-hand side here, Dave.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, he went off.
Yeah, right.
Still knocking at that door with inside the 5. Old Collegians again, just... This is one of those that can go either way. Short ball, lost backwards. It's going to work out for Old Collegians.
I think there's an advantage.
And they'll get over.
Yeah.
That's what they needed. Moves them outside of a converted try, in front.
And the body language, as you said before, Dave, it's starting to play a part.
Because that's a big defensive stand. And I tell you, they've done the work, and then they forced the mistake, and unfortunately the mistake just went straight to an Old Collegians hand.
It'll be a testament to a person and a club to be able to turn it around right now.
It's getting cool as the sun goes down in the South Australian. Are we in winter yet? We are in winter, aren't we? Or is that next month? Are we still in autumn?
Next month, yeah.
The kick will fall short, but as soon as the sun goes down in the autumn, it gets chilly, doesn't it?
Dave, look at this. Emu trotting up the front.
He's overtaken by our mate Georgiadis, though.
He's got 100 kilos on him, though.
Oh, he's made it back.
I reckon Costa's going to take this one right
He's
in
had
the
a
chest.
look over here as well,
What
That's
a great kick.
Not a bad restart.
Yeah, I've called it. I've called it.
I kind of wanted to see him get the knee in somebody's chest and get a specky.
Big Modric mark.
Quick hands, Ormsby. That's
They're
all
loading
good.
up on the left.
Yeah,
They're loading
and
up
it's
on the
there.
left.
I tell you, the
Oh,
change.
that's a strange. There
There
you
it
go, Cole's
is.
away.
Yeah, let's see whether he can find something on the outside. Gets
Oh,
the ball
great
away.
ball.
I think that's who was warming up, and I think that's the other Voata brother. I think must have been a late change in the centres. Adcock does well, and again he attracts.
Not sure there was any arm release there,
Yeah, he's got away with it though. Again, they're going to reward that because he was horribly isolated, didn't he?
but yeah, for sure.
Killick.
Great
Good
tackle.
tackle. Again, they're just happy to
Not sure what
Where's that gonna-
they're trying to kick it, Dave. They've got the
mean,
domination on scrum, and
play rugby down there.
I suppose.
I think he said knock on. And he kind of half gave himself up. Adcock will send it high
Hump it
into the
down.
air. He's not going to get there, so the bounce is going to find its way towards. It's a good bounce for Old Collegians. It was a Woodville bounce. Coming back, penalty. Offside. One of the toughest kicks in rugby in this one. Straight in the middle of the park. Trying to find touch.
Played and coached Lindsay Adcock for a long time, and he looks more puffed out today. He actually looks puffed out.
He's got through some work.
He's been working hard. That's
He's played. He's basically played both the halfback positions today. I mean, especially with Kyle sort of going down to 60-70%. It's a good touch finder.
Can't dispute that leg though. That's insane. Can't coach that.
He's found touch well, but yeah, especially with Kyle Murphy going down. It is Kyle Murphy, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah, Kyle.
Kyle Witcher, sorry. Going down to sort of 60-70%. He's had to work hard and basically play both of the halfback positions today.
It's good to hear a fullback like he's just really good.
Like I
His
said, I think
noise.
that's a stroke of genius to move him. That's been knocked on. Absolute stroke of genius. It's allowed him to boss from the back.
Yeah.
And ball in hand, his fundamentals are absolutely fantastic.
Maybe that's his spot, mate. Maybe we should stay there.
Look, where they are at the moment, I would suggest that, yes, that is. I mean, he can almost coach from the back.
That's true.
I mean, I've always wanted to, when you coach kids and you're allowed on the field. I think we should bring that into senior rugby.
I think someone might hit you, Dave. I think might be one of the big props just turn around and smack you in the head.
Yeah, and Old Collegians just mighty in that scrum. Adcock, geez, that's high.
a decent kick
That's
too.
a really
There's
good
some
kick. It's
speed
right
there.
in that. There's that mark. There's that level head. There's that sensible rugby.
That's a really smart player.
Look at the yardage he's made. All in back the ears, Rob Smedley.
20 years, 20 metres he's made there.
And it'll skip away
What
into
a
touch.
great kick that was there. It was inside the 22, and now they're back down to our 22.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful from Rob Smedley.
How old do you reckon he is?
He's got to be in his 30s.
Young fella then.
I don't know. It's hard to. I don't know anymore. Age is just. It's foreign to me now.
Yeah, it's true.
Into midfield again.
Oh, they've stolen that. Fair and square, I reckon.
Ormsby to Ormsby. It's a good tackle in midfield. Smedley. He's enjoying himself now, isn't he?
Big hit.
The big red went for a rumble. Kind of abandoned it backwards.
Overlap big time.
Still playing over there, but the forward pass.
Forward pass.
It's all
7 minutes.
slowed down in the all slowed down, and just everything sort of deflated a little bit around the ground, hasn't it? It's gone quiet, and
Might be because the sun's gone down, Dave.
yeah, and 13 points, 24.
7 minutes to go. The ref's gone the extra time. Big shout out to Bobby Devine, one of the best volunteers here. Oh, by the way, I have to say, it comes out.
Oh, it's
Touched.
Yeah, so no one's offside.
Ooh, big lad's running.
Here's Smedley again. Oh, he gets the ball away, and he started them off again.
Recycling.
Tell you, if Old Collegians come away with the win, and they've gone in again. I tell you what, take a bow, Rob Smedley.
What I want to do is just have a chat about a guy called Peter Brown, right? So, people talk about volunteers around South Australian Rugby Union, but this man, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And unfortunately, he doesn't have either, right? I'm saying that because he's standing in front of us.
He is right in front of us. We love Brownie.
He is the best volunteer. He was the manager for the A grade and B grade for a long time. However, he does so much for South Australian Rugby Union. It's just you're an amazing guy, mate. Honestly,
He was
you're a good guy.
liaison as well for when the Super Rugby teams came here.
He does lots of stuff,
does loads
Dave.
of
I'm
stuff.
not sure what he does.
Anytime anything happens, you can guarantee you the first email to land in South Australian offices is going to be Brownie.
That's right. So, Peter, from me to you, can you do more, please?
Yeah. Can you pull your finger
Pick
out?
your game up, mate.
Yeah.
Pick your game up.
Well-
Back to Bobby Devine. She's better than Peter. Anyway,
I did say I feel like one of the teams would break out after half time.
that's my wife ringing.
Oh, you better answer your wife. We did say that one of the teams was likely to break out after half time, and it appears that it's Old Collegians, and they've just managed to work their way in front. Just saying, we're going to be into the last. Well, you said 7 minutes. Oh,
Costa.
George,
Costa. See why he's my favourite
Yeah,
player right now. He's
wonderful.
just-
Like you say, that's a skill that not many rugby players have,
penalty.
and they get the penalty from it.
Yep. Here's a.
The ability to catch the ball over his head like that is a skill that
Yeah.
a lot of rugby players don't have.
Jet Connor used to have that. He used to, because he played a lot of footy. Oh, quick tap. Emu.
Go, big fella.
Oh,
Well, that
he's
was
got
play.
put on his butt.
Georgiadis, I tell you, if anyone deserves a try today, it's him.
Tommy Price going to get the ball.
Oh, that counter ruck from Old Collegians is wonderful. Big Timmy Dawes coming back from a hamstring injury.
Do you have a list of stuff, Dave, that you know that people are injured from and all that?
I just talked to people before the game.
Oh, interesting. Good side step.
Yeah, like ball security was there, shall we say. Adcock comes this side. Bauer. That's not
Oh,
bad.
he hasn't been held.
Price.
Oh, someone's down. Oh, good clean out.
Right, then the counter ruck's
Counter
going
ruck.
to come as well, holding on for grim death. Adcock trying to find a way through.
Oh, that
And
looks a
he's
bit
had
high.
like the number of half breaks he's had today.
Sam Jolly into contact.
Tom Price will clear that out, but Killick comes away with it again.
Not sure how they got that ball back.
He's deceptively strong as Brad Killick. Smedley again gets hands on the ball. Oh, yeah, sorry, Rob. It looked forward. We were bang in line with it.
Went over the halfway line. You can probably see it. Oh, I like this. If you look over here, you've got winger on winger, and he's helping with the cramp leg. That's rugby.
Community rugby, isn't it?
That's rugby 1-on-1.
He's been struggling with cramp throughout the second half as Bauer.
But geez, he's had a great game, right?
He has. Look, I mean, so they're going to make a change. He's played very, very well, Sam Bauer. Another one. I think we need to crowdsource some Woodville socks for him.
Yeah. Well played, mate.
He did play very, very well.
We're still growing, Dave.
Hey, look, there's a heap of positives out of this Woodville performance.
Actually, no, it's COVID, right? It's China with COVID. We can't get strips and shorts and stuff. I'm blaming it on that.
Hey,
Can't get it here, you know?
it is.
It's a problem.
Hey, it is an issue. Which is what? Well, actually, they're not a sponsor anymore. I nearly talked up a sponsor that's not a sponsor anymore.
Liam Young, here we go.
He's, one of my favourites as well. At like minute one,
Amy.
whistle to whistle. There's no backward step at all from him either.
Jamie Paville, once he's come back on, he's got hit hard
He's
there.
gone backwards. Georgiadis just didn't lose. That was too easy for him. Need to throw it above his head.
I'd say from a Woodville perspective, Emu for me is best on ground for sure.
I can't argue his effort and his dedication all day, and especially if you're playing front row and your scrum's under that much pressure.
Absolutely, going backwards all day.
It's huge character
Yeah.
to keep going for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's not given up at all. In fact, that front row, the whole front row, first and second half, is, just knuckled down and kept going.
Yeah. The under 14s coaches, they talk about 1%ers, and the 1%ers is something that you do that no one else will do. So running up to the halfway line or getting quickly to the breakdown, that's a 1%er.
And it's stuff you can't coach, and it's stuff you can't practice.
Yeah.
Oh, he's done well again. He's missed a couple.
Oh, wow.
He's going to find his way. Has he got one more? Gets the offload away. Georgiadis,
there we go, Costa.
Oh, what a ball inside. He's very, very alone. Now he's in. Good support comes from Liam Young. That's not the best decision that he's had. And look, we all know I love Lindsay, but when he gets himself under pressure from a
way in front
mental point of view, that's when these decisions just go awry a little bit for Lindsay.
Quick tap.
Smedley again, who for mine has taken this game, put the straps on his shoulders, taken charge of it.
I think Liam's starting to really fire up at the end of this game. He wants to. Well, we're done now, aren't we?
We're going to be pretty close. It's a penalty.
Dave, as always, it's a pleasure having a chat with you. And
it's the best seat in the house, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, while we're waiting, one more dad joke. How many tickles does it take to make an octopus laugh? 10 tickles.
If you want to see Gerard back on the broadcast, I mean, if you want to make him a permanent fixture,
give me a like.
Yeah, drop a like, drop a share.
There won't be any of those.
We'll see. If you want Gerard to be a permanent fixture, let us know. It's a good line out again.
Costa, man.
They've managed to tidy everything up today. There's Leung again.
Oh, good run.
He's rose to the occasion in the second half. I don't know who your back rower was that was sat there. Another penalty. He doesn't want to go home, Tristan Clements.
Well, he wants a beer later.
I mean, has he had an argument with the missus? Because he doesn't want to end. He doesn't want this to end then, does he?
That's an interesting comment. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's just practicing. I think he's practicing as the World Cup coming up. He needs to, and this is live stream too.
Look, they don't want to. Woodville are like, look, we're not turning the lights on.
It's too expensive.
It's too expensive to turn the lights on. Can we end this, Kristen, please?
No, he's doing all right. He's actually done a good game today.
He's been good. In fairness, the teams haven't made him have to make a decision.
Not really, no, because it's been pretty
good.
Pretty good. Costa again.
Lost forward, so it'll be another breakdown. We're going to go again. McDonough. Ormsby, I tell you. Carl Edgar. There's the knock on. And that will do us. Woodville go down 29 points to 13. Good game, though. A lot of positives to take out of it.
It's pretty good. Dave, it's always a pleasure. I'm going to go get a beer and spend some time with my friends.
Talk about how good the rugby has been today.
No, you, Dave. Just you.
No, don't be like that. Hey, I'm just a cog in the machine.
It's been a really good game today. Unfortunately, we didn't get the result in Woodville, but...
No, like I said, there's a lot of positives there. I'll swap microphones. On the field microphone. I'm definitely going to go. I'm going to go and try and get Rob Smedley. Bluey, absolutely fantastic to spend time with you again today. I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Smeders! Smeds! Rob! Rob! Congratulations, there we are. So, camera's over there. Hey, I came over and I spoke to you before the game, and you said this is a must-win game, and you love these pressure games.
Yeah, it was hard. They actually took it to us early. We gave them a lot of ball, so no, credit to the guys though. They stuck in our defence and they kept running it at us, so that was good.
Hey, and look, probably no one's going to give you this feedback, but I think you moving to halfback and moving to fullback in the second half is an absolutely master stroke. Was it you that made that change, or did someone on the sideline make that?
I think it was Trent. Yeah, no, just a bit more chat, eh? We were trying a couple of the young guys out and, just a little bit more experience, a bit more time, and we'll get there.
For mine, that move changed the game. I mean, you were very, very close. I think you went in half-time 5 points up, so it was close and it was still anybody's. But your ability to see the whole game and then come into the line and inject yourself where you wanted to, I think that's what changed the game. Yeah. Scrummaging-wise, you were absolutely outstanding today.
Yeah,
this is a big, big step for you, because as far as season starts go, one of the worst for you this year.
Yeah, definitely. We've never been in this kind of position, so we've always had the luxury of being able to play a little bit more free, but when it comes to these games where you need to win, maybe playing a bit more territory, you're going to have to look to kick to the line and build pressure down in their half rather than playing it out in ours.
Hey, and look, go and enjoy your win.
Yeah,
I'm sure you will. Yeah. Enjoy it. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Awesome. Cheers.
Good luck, good as well for your under-18s doing as well as they are this year. Go and enjoy the win.
Right, cheers, thank you.
Make sure you get that song. Yeah. I might go and wander and try and grab somebody else if you stay with me for a little bit. I'm going to try and get Mr. Georgiadis, who very, very impressive last couple of weeks apparently, and he's only played a couple of games. Just bear with me. Costa, can I borrow you for 2 seconds? Costas Georgiadis. Yeah. Well, there's a camera up there that we're talking to. Geez, once you get close to you, you're a big boy as well. First things first, when are we getting you Woodville shorts?
I've just recently joined the club.
I'm aware of that, but we need to make sure that they get changed. I'd love to see the Port Adelaide logo out running around. But so we know a couple of games first and foremost.
Yeah.
How are you finding rugby union?
Pretty good. Just enjoying the boys out here pretty good. So they're helping me out, making me learn the rules, and it's a pretty good sport to play. Yeah.
I'll let you off because it's laws, not rules.
Oh, yeah.
But what brought you out to rugby union? What attracted you to it?
I just had some mates that played rugby here, and they told me to come out have a run, and thought I did, and yeah, been loving it ever since. Well,
we're loving the skill set that you bring into it. It absolutely joy to watch today. You and Emu were our favourite players today, so congratulations, well done. Go and enjoy the night, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful. Hey, and if you are a state selector and you're watching that young man has got a very, very bright future. temperature as the sun has gone down at Woodville. The lights are off. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week from wherever we are next week. It's been an absolutely wonderful afternoon. Certainly was a must-win game for Old Collegians, and win it they did. Certainly a lot of positives for Woodville. Rugby in South Australia just keeps getting better and better, and I'll see you next week.